solidarity of people power. And that's what it's about. So we have this power to sort of get our voice heard in the next 18 months to 2 years. So please don't waste this time. Saturn also in Capricorn hopefully should bring about some stabilisation to monetary policy. Now, by that I mean it's not going to stop the stock market crashing. It's not going to stop you spending too much money. What it's asking for each and every one of us to do is look at how we handle our cash flow, how we handle our own personal spending, and is there something there that we can do in a better way? Is it time to revamp and look at where we've got our money going out on a weekly or a monthly basis? Can we get a better phone deal? Can we do more with our money instead of wasting it? So it's our responsibility to start looking at our personal finances and where things are heading. So next week we're going to be looking at our first 4-part series of the houses in astrology. We're now going to take Diana in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Are you there, Diana?
Yes.
How can I help you tonight, sweetie? Do you have a question for me?
Oh, first of all, thank you for letting me be on your show.
That's our pleasure.
I was just wanting to know how do I get into my spirituality that out there. Sorry.
Diana, that's a really good question because for each person it's different. What I usually suggest to people is go to something that you're drawn to. Whether that's attending a spiritualist church, whether it's learning tarot, numerology, astrology, reading palms, tea leaves, whatever. Just go to whatever you're the most drawn to. Some people are drawn to angels. Other people are drawn to the numbers because it's something that they like to work with. That's the best way we can open ourselves up on a spiritual level, is head towards the direction we're being naturally drawn to. There's no hard and fast rules at how fast or how slow it's going to happen. It's a personal thing. It's how much time and effort are you going to put into it. And most of the time, we've already had some sort of spiritual or psychic connection anyway. You know, there's been times when just before the phone rings, you'd be thinking of your best girlfriend and the next thing she's on the telephone or she's at the front door. You know, they're psychic or spiritual connections. So that's just learning to work with that. And learning to sort of say to yourself, it's okay not to know all the answers. None of us have all the answers, sweetie. None of us. No matter how much you become spiritually evolved, you never have all the answers. We still have certain amounts of things that take us by surprise. So is there an area that you're naturally drawn to?
Yes. I have seen people. I've seen something else. I don't know what it was, but I'm not scared. They don't bother me. I don't do it all the time, but I know something's there, and I need to learn to tap into that because now my grandson he just turned 4. He is wise beyond his years and knows way too much. You know, it's crazy.
No,
I want to help him to understand.
Okay, right. Let's go back to your grandson first. A lot of 4-year-olds, children between the ages of 4 and 7, know no boundaries when it comes to this. They can see spirit, they can see passed over relatives from the other side as if they're sitting there like you and I are in the flesh. So please don't discourage that. Just try and answer his questions the best way you can. By the time they get to about 7, the rational part of their mind starts to kick in and they start to question, well, hang on a minute, nobody else can see it, so therefore I can't. So this is why I think it's a natural progression that once children turn about 7, that they go down a different path. Sometimes it kicks back in again around puberty, around 14 years of age. Sometimes it doesn't kick back until much later in our lives. If you're starting to see things or see people that are passed over, that's what we term as mediumistic sort of work. My suggestion would be, I would suggest that you look at joining sort of John Edwards' Evolve Club, which will cost you around about $100 a year, and that's a really good place to start. John Edwards, amazing medium from your country, and I had the good pleasure of meeting him last year, and I've been a big fan of his work for many, many years. But I think if you join that, at least that's a beginning point, because there's all like-minded souls there. It's a nice little family, and then you'll learn so much from that then you can go on to other areas. He does have a course on Hay House called Project You, is another really good starting point as well. I've just finished that course with John. I thoroughly recommend it to anybody that might want to develop their spirituality.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, why do people
I was just going to say, there are a couple of
that?
suggestions for you. You need somewhere to start.
Yes, that's. I just didn't want to just find just anybody and not get on the right path
No, that's why I'm suggesting join John Edward at the Evolve website, which is under $100 US for the year. And that's a good starting point because there's a social network there of people in there. I'm a member. Lots of professionals are members as well. But John has a little internet show each week that you can watch. He's now got a Facebook page where we can all join in and have conversations and things like that. So you'll start to gather lots of information there. So that's good. Okay. Now, we're going to go on to our next caller. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think it's really important for you if you sort of look at that, Diana, and work with that because that will give you that starting point that you needed to be able to focus and get a point of, this is a good starting point in a safe little group where nobody's going to judge me, and you'll find that the energy that comes out of that group is very pure and it's a nice starting point. And John's been around for a very, very long time, over 30 years. And with the course project, he takes you through all different areas of spirituality. He teaches you things like protection. He looks at many different forms of tools like tarot and numerology and astrology, gives you affirmations, explains a lot of things in that course, and you can do it at your own pace. And that was the one good thing about it. They suggest it's a 90-day course. It took me 11 months with my busy schedule. But I purposely did the course because, number one, I wanted to be able to understand what he was teaching the masses. And just also it's always nice to get confirmation that what I've always worked with and believed in all my working career, that we had a lot of things in similar that I could say, tick, 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 yes, that's the way I've always worked. And I like to be able to recommend something to people like you, Diana, that are starting out in a safe environment because there's so many places you could go and you just don't know where to go. You don't know what to look at and what to do next. And the most important thing I can share with you is if it feels right, do it. If it doesn't feel right, walk away from it. Doesn't matter what it is. If you get that uncomfortable feeling in the pit of your tummy, walk away. It's not right for you. It's not right for you. So you don't question that. That also helps build your psychic powers by listening to that reaction in your tummy that says this feels right or that doesn't feel right. That helps build it. And it's something that we need to work with every single day. It's not something that you can sort of say, oh, well, I'll do it this week and have 3 months off. It doesn't work that way. Once you start on this journey, it becomes part of your life. It becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth. And that's
it's actually saved my life a few times by listening.
Oh, absolutely. It has for most people, Diana, and that's why it's so important. And particularly as the world is moving so fast, I think more and more of us need something that we can understand things better with, and this is what it's about. So it's John Edward with no S.net is his website, and that's where you can join the Evolve group. But I know that you'll get an awful lot out of it. I've been a member of Evolve now for about 4 years, and I just love being part of the group. It's nice to have people that you can have a conversation with, and, people share lots of things there. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
And enjoy your grandson. It's wonderful that we've got such a young person that's really not frightened to embrace his spirituality. That's amazing.
Yes, I'm sure that he's going to go on to help lots of people. I really do.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's a very, very old soul, your grandson. And it's nice to see that loving energy coming through. Yes, he does. And he comes out with some real pearls of wisdom, doesn't he? Some statements that you think, where did that come from?
He does. That's just crazy. You just said that. He definitely does.
Yeah, but he's a clever young man. Well, it's lovely to speak with you, Diana. I wish you all the best with your journey on your spirituality, and we'll chat again soon.
Thank you so much.
And that brings us to the end of our show. I hope you're having an awesome week wherever you are. Next week we'll be talking about our first part series of the houses in astrology, so I hope you can join me then. We'll have our candle of the week. We'll also have our Simply Tarot card of the week. So please hold everybody in your thoughts and prayers for the people that have been connected with the YouTube shooting. There's nothing more we can say except hold them in our prayers, and have a great week. Bye for now.
Australia's Psychic Cowgirl. How is everyone this evening or early in the morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world? So wonderful to connect with you today. We've got a fun half an hour in store with a couple of reads, and I'm also going to share, I've had a spirit come through last night. So when they come through, it usually means that they're to connect with somebody that's in connection with either watching the live today, or it could be one of our callers, but I have a feeling it might be somebody watching the live. So I'm just going to share her info. If you resonate and you don't try and make it fit because it'll be for somebody, but yeah, I'm going to give you the info anyway. So remember, I can't actually see the live feed, so I can't see your feedback. So either message me or email psychiccowgirl.com.au or tonya@psychiccowgirl.com.au, or message my page and I will get back to you, because she's really come through to want to connect to her daughter. So I'm just going to share that info with you, and hopefully next week we'll fit the pieces in and I'll be able to share the story on this, because she really came through quite strongly, and this hasn't happened for me before with the radio station. Often when I do readings or public demonstrations, it's not uncommon for a spirit to step in when they know there's going to be this opportunity where I'm actually connecting with their relatives. So this lady was very adamant in coming through. So it's for her daughter, and she was showing me, like, I felt like her name was a hyphenated name, say Sally something, but yeah. And she also kept repeating Dawn. So Dawn is relevant somewhere, but she was saying Dawn's not her name, but there is a connection to Dawn. She's passed within the last 6 to 12 months, and she wants her daughter to know that she is around you at this point in time. So it's like you're going through a struggle, and hence why she's come through me to give you this message that she is around. I feel like that as far as the daughter goes, there's a separation or transition at this point in time. So she's really come through to say she's here. There's a connection. There was also, she was showing me Arizona, whether that's the area or somewhere that was holidays. There was definitely a connection to Arizona and Lily, the name Lily. And there was a bit of a struggle with her passing. So she wasn't well, she was showing me. And there was a little bit of a time frame with this up and down and her passing. So I just have to pass that on, because when they come through like that, it will relate to somebody. So please don't hesitate to contact me, because she has got a little bit of an extra message there, but I'd rather do that privately. So when spirit comes through like that, I have to honour them. And any time that I have been in a little bit of doubt, then it's come through clearly, exactly what that's about later. I've got Angela in Baltimore, Maryland, US, on the phone.
Yeah.
Angela, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good, thanks. Now, did you have anything specific, or would you like me to give you what I've already got for you?
I just want to know, am I going to be okay for the rest of my life? I mean, right now, like, I'm struggling with everything.
Yep.
I just want to know, am I going to be okay?
Okay, well, I'll read out what I've written for you prior to you ringing. So it was more or less not allowing bumps in the road to hold you up. So you have it. I feel like there's a few new ideas you've been toying up with, but you maybe getting bombarded with things that you feel are holding you back. And it's like they're showing me they're just bumps in the road. They're not major things that you're going to have to have massive amounts of struggle with. But it's all in the way that you're looking at things. So it's a little bit about you keeping positive and looking at focusing on the good rather than the things that aren't so great.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay,
Being clear with others as well was listed here. Be clear with others. Now's the time to, speak your truth. So I don't know, to me that comes across like you might tend to please other people a bit, or within the family you'll keep the peace. And it's time for you to say, you know what, it's about me now. It's not about everybody else.
I'm doing that right now. I'm thinking about me because I'm always doing something for somebody else. I never take time out for me. So I am starting that. I am starting to think about me now.
Good on you, because that's what this is about. And it's like this year for you is it's almost like you're being pushed to that. So even if you're a little bit hesitant, you energetically, things are behind you to get you to enable you to step up and step into your power. And I was also shown around you wise investing. So it was like there's a flow of money that's going to come in this year for you. And it was like this is like the reward of a long, it was like they were showing me it was the reward for hard work over many years. So I don't know whether that's something, whether you've got an investment or you're looking at cashing out with something and you're going to do better than what you think.
No, not really. No.
Okay. Just take that on, because there'll be something in that. So it's almost like something's of more value than you think. And with that, I was shown money coming in. So, usually when that comes through, it does mean that money will flow to you. So have you previously, has it always been up and down a bit for you with money?
You said do I do what?
Is it usually for you, is money a little bit like it comes in but then it goes out as quick as it comes in?
Yes, it does.
So this is like there's going to be a swap around with that this year for you. So again, when Spirit comes through to give me this message to you, it's like just be open to the fact that you are quite abundant and you can attract what you need. And now that you're starting to speak up and say what you need, you're showing the universe that you are important, you matter, and you know what? I deserve all good, because you do. You've worked very hard and you've assisted, because they're showing me you've assisted many in your journey so far.
Yes, I have. You are on point with that. Because, I do work hard. My children keep telling me, Ma, stop working so hard. I do. Yes. I really do.
So, so it's like now it's time, because energetically you've done all that hard stuff, and now it's like, I want to say it's like it's time to reap the harvest. So there is a harvest coming for you where you're not going to have to work as hard, and it's almost like now that you've taken it on to say, you know what, this is my time, I'm going to step up, that's going to fall into place.
Okay. I can't wait till that time comes.
Yes. So I want you to, because, sometimes when we sit in doubt, we stop things from coming to us. So